Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Circle Back. This is a podcast where we offer listeners a peek behind the scenes of successful organizations and people. This week, we're going to be joining the Milk Board for a strategic marketing meeting. So, without further ado, here's the Milk Board. On go.
Hey guys, thanks for hopping in on the Zoom. Glad to have you here. Of course, this is an important board meeting about the future of milk. And
Right. Thank you, Jim.
Happy to be here.
thank you, Peter and Ken. Uh, we just put this on the board to run through some ideas about the future of milk and how we can continually expand our growth. So let me know the ideas you have.
Right. Well, I guess I'm zooming in from my shoot here. But I guess I'm just wondering why we need to grow. It seems like milk is doing fine.
Oh, well, Peter, that's like a common misconception. Like people say, oh, it's on the store shelves, it's always available, people are drinking it. But honestly, what we really need to do is move on to like more ambitious types of things, like maybe replace the town's water supplies with milk, or make milk in one of the meals of the day. What if there was a fourth meal of the day that was just milk? Like these are the types of things we're trying to move forward.
Right. Well, I remember during the Obama administration, we were working closely with Michelle, and she was not getting behind the fourth milk of the day is what we called it back then. But yeah, I those sound like good ideas. Let's I mean, I'm just the milk model, I'm the face of milk, so don't let me step on any toes here.
That's the thing is you're so connected to the people and they really like they love that you love milk. And so your ideas are the people's ideas.
Right. Well, going on with replacing the water supply or something, I'm sitting at the beach and I see a full ocean of water. Um,
Oh,
It's a
what
nice
if that was
market.
milk?
Yeah.
whoa. I like this idea. I like this idea. We tried before to turn a lake into milk, and we weren't thinking big enough.
That's
Y-
yeah, it's a scale problem. The bigger it is, then it's easier because of the costs of buying in bulk, etc.
Our milk water park was incredibly successful. People loved that. So could you imagine
Yeah.
like surfing in on a big wave of milk?
Well,
Remind
there
me,
were a lot of perverts at that water park, I'll say that much.
we call that park again.
Oh, we called that the dairy quite contrary.
Right, dairy, quite contrary.
That's right.
Why did they shut that down again, Jim?
Um, you
Or
want to take
Ken?
this, Jim?
I just
Yeah.
can't remember why it got shut down.
No, so there was a tainting of the milk, I'll say, with some other similar to milk stuff. And that, I've signed NDAs. I can't really talk about that too much, but it was
Peter,
good.
you remember that ad campaign where we had you be the milkman, and it was like all of these kids that looked like you, and it was like we are trying to do like this funny nod to like, ha ha ha, is it him or is it the milkman? Somewhere in the lines with that, with the water park, too many milkmen getting into the source.
Into the supply. Well, and people were uncomfortable because the kids were so hot in those commercials. I remember people were very uncomfortable with that.
Yeah, what's
And
your
it's a blessing and a curse that I have my looks.
It
wow,
was also really expensive because it took all those years for you to impregnate all those women and then have the kids get to the right age. And we wanted a variety of ages, right? We didn't want them just only be babies.
and
And
the diversity that you achieved too. Like we really appreciated that in the board.
Yeah, of course, of course. Um, I love sleeping with women, and I'll do it for pay.
Honestly, our brand depends on your fertility.
And I love that. Um, okay, so that that campaign was kind of a flop though, right? So
I mean,
I'm
all in all, with the legal expenses and the torts and the suits, yeah, we didn't break even on that. But everyone loved the campaign, but it was a loss leader for sure.
Yeah.
right. I'm just wondering if we should look at because it seems like, and again, I'm just a model here, but let me pitch it. I know you guys aren't fans, but I think we should be looking at what Orange Juice is doing. I know they're kind of our rival, but it seems like they've had some big success in the past few years, so I don't know.
Oh, so okay, so milk with pulp, yeah,
Now that's now that's something I can get behind.
a
It
little
makes
more
your
organic. It lets you know it comes right from the udder.
Uh, Also from concentrate, the condensed milk, like
condensed milk.
Dude,
Yeah,
imagine.
maybe we're not pushing our like outer products enough because milk with pulp just sounds like raw milk to me.
No, no, it's different. It's normal milk, but you just have the shreds of the skin.
yeah,
Of
yeah,
the
yeah. You know how
skin.
when you bite it, it bursts a little bit?
Wait, sorry, what skin?
Like just like an orange. You get the pulp.
The skin of the cow?
No, no, the skin of the milk.
Oh, I wasn't aware milk had skin. But I don't really drink milk, so I guess, yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
not an expert here.
our R&D on this. I've talked to them about skin milk.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have, yeah. Well, you've been talking about skin a lot lately, I've noticed.
It's just an interesting thing.
Well, we'll table that for now. Uh, so Ken, your last name is Serial, correct?
Yeah, yeah. Of the
Uh,
cereal dynasty.
yeah, the Serial Dynasty. And um, I do you have any maybe lessons from the Serial Dynasty that we could incorporate or
So something that was really a problem with when I, married into the cereal family was whether or not I should put milk first in my life or cereal first in my life. And it's been kind of like, which is my priority? Who do I care more about? And I know this is controversial, but I am the type of person that likes to put milk first and then cereal second.
And
It's
we
not
like
common, but I think it's the better way to go. From what I have learned from my experience, with the cereal family, is that mascots are key and a wide variety of them, you know. So we love that we have a live actor. That's fantastic. But Serial likes to have animations and cartoons and drawings and Saturday morning shows, things like that. And so that could be what we need to go forward into. Like Peter, maybe voice acting lessons. Maybe we can get you to be the voice actor for our next big milk mascot.
yeah, that could be great. I mean, let's and again, I'm just a model here, so don't let me step on any toes, but maybe we could come up with a little mascot idea right now. Is there any what animal when you think about it just screams milk to you guys?
Yak.
definitely a yak.
Yak?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say cow, but a yak could work.
Yeah, yeah. Goat.
A goat?
I don't
Yeah.
want to be too on the nose about, cow. It's overplayed. We've done market R&D, A/B testing. People don't like cows anymore.
I
So we
see.
that's why the yak is and people
I
identify with the
The
yak.
yak is back, baby. That's what I have heard that the yak is back. People keep telling me that. And I say, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Because it's usually out of context, but I'm understanding now.
I
Yeah.
think moving, especially like you said, Ken, is getting maybe a little more animated, more into the kids space and marketing toward kids. So I'm thinking maybe we do like the cereal family did. It was a huge boon for them, was putting the toys in the bottom of the boxes. So in each gallon of milk, let's put a toy yak.
Well, and is the yak our mascot? I feel like we should make a mascot too.
Well, that's it'll be the mascot, but
Okay, can he have a cape?
I'm in with the cape. Yeah.
Because I've been
Yeah.
wanting to bring capes back, but it seems like no one, whenever I throw on a cape, everyone's like, "What are you doing?" But if we could get that repopularized, that'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah. But for when you're voice acting the yak, right? We've talked about capes and you being in public wearing them before.
Right, right. And
Need
I've
I
gotten
need
your
I remind you?
emails. I've gotten your emails, and I've gotten your threats, and I've gotten your snail mail with human fingers in it. But and I've the message received. I'm not going to wear a cape in public until it becomes cool again after this campaign with the yaks.
But yeah, yeah. The character, you can voice the character of someone wearing a cape. And if you want to wear one in the recording studio, then it's immediate firing.
Oh, okay. Okay. I can't even wear it in private.
So
Yeah,
here's
sorry.
just a red
That
flag.
okay.
Uh, in our Asian markets, capes, very cool, very popular. Yaks, not so much. So I'm thinking maybe you got to have two, like an international mascot.
See,
And
that's so surprising to me that the yaks aren't because isn't a yak more of an Asian animal?
Well, here's the thing is Americans love the yaks and the Eastern countries, they love the water buffalo.
I'm not familiar enough with uh with biology and all of that to and zoology to know the
Well,
difference.
they're super easy to mix up if you aren't, trained in the to spot the differences. They both got horns, they both got big meaty udders full
Well,
of
that's what
sweet, sweet juice.
you got your master's in zoology, right, Ken?
Yeah, it was very expensive to pay off the university to sign it off for me, but it was a good choice.
Well, I'm glad that it's finally paying off in a way in your
Yeah.
career.
I wanted to touch back on the prizes in the bottom of the milk cartons.
yeah,
I thought, you know, one thing that was really popular that I don't think was played out to its full potential was when we included a CD-ROM in a cereal box. So if we stick like a CD-ROM at the bottom of the milk jug, and then afterwards you have to cut it out because obviously it can't fit in, and you grow the plastic around the CD-ROM. I just think that that's everybody loves the feeling of cutting something open and tearing a prize out from inside.
and then we can partner with other people who are trying to sell their CDs, and that's another revenue stream.
Or install Bitcoin mining software onto people's
Oh,
computers.
even better. Yeah,
I just don't know how many people use CD-ROMs.
everybody.
Okay, well, I'm just a model, so I don't really know a lot.
Oh
But
yeah.
if you guys like the CD-ROM idea, I think that could maybe work.
I mean, yeah. I think if we can get the cost per unit down from our current 12 cents per gallon to 11 cents per gallon, we could fit in a CD for sure.
Right. I'll let you and Ken hammer out the money details because I don't understand that world
Because
at all.
again, you're a model,
Yeah.
just
Well,
a model.
I'm just a model. Thank you.
But again, if it's when it resonates with you, we know it's a good idea, right?
I'd say it's resonating. I'd say yeah, Ken just sent me a little text and said everyone uses a CD-ROM, you stupid piece of shit. So I'd say yeah, it's resonating for me now. In the same way that I can't wear a cape started resonating with me after a while. Okay, sounds good. We got the CD-ROM. We've got sorry to keep harping on this mascot, but what should its name be?
Hmm. Well, me, I want to go something like home tradition, something that reminds us of like 60s America when we were strong. So it should be like Milk Yak.
That
Mm,
reminds you of the 60s?
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's home.
I'm not so sure. Actually, wait, sorry, I just got a text. Oh, yeah, I think that resonates with me actually.
Good. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Milk Yak, okay.
well, do you remember in the 60s when the Yaks made it to the Super Bowl and how the entire country came together for these
I'm
underdogs?
I'm just a model. I wouldn't remember anything like that.
Oh yeah,
Also,
you
I'm
weren't
only
born
I'm
yet.
only 20 years old.
Yeah, you weren't born yet, but yeah,
No.
it was 1963 and the Yaks made it to the Super Bowl for the first time and the entire country came. They were cheering. The milk stands outside the park were just, you know, running out of milk. Everybody was just really enjoying the Yaks that day.
That was a good
But
time
yeah.
for milk.
That is true. And
Mhm.
we really lost connection with that town and with that team because our previous owner, had divested into some other teams. But, we should really think about bringing our funding back into just the Milk Yaks, the original team, and maybe we could hybrid, buy the team, buy the stadium, make it all milk, serve milk at the games.
We could call it the Milk Bowl, the Cereal Bowl.
The cereal bowl?
I could talk to my family. I'm sure they'd love to have their name right on
Yeah,
it.
it surprises me that we haven't collaborated with your family at all, considering that we have such a great connection and also that it cereal and milk just goes together, you know?
I never thought of that.
But all in all, like, let's not get too onto cereal because we all know milk is much wider and much deeper than cereal,
Milk
right?
first,
All
then
day,
cereal.
or an all day thing, whereas cereal, you can't have that all day.
Well, and I used to be pro cereal first and then milk, but then Ken made it very clear to me that what resonates with me is pouring the milk first and then the cereal.
And that's why people love you.
Because I pour the milk first.
Yeah.
Hmm. Nothing to cry about.
Okay, well, guys, and I'm just a model. I don't want to run this meeting, but it sounds like we've got a mascot. We've got the CD-ROMs at the bottom of the milk. We're starting a whole, was it baseball? Was it basketball? I wasn't really clear on that.
The Super
Football?
Bowl. Super
Oh,
Bowl.
football.
No, no,
Um,
no, no, not football. The Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Prime
Yeah,
is,
That I'm not, yeah, that resonates with me.
yeah, it's the Super Bowl team.
I feel like we should, when we come out with these new things, we should have a new flavor, and we should try to be like as inclusive. We got chocolate milk, we got strawberry milk.
An inclusive flavor.
Yeah, what are people looking for right now? And let's do that.
I see.
Everyone
Uh,
loves like black licorice, right?
Non-binary milk.
Which milk?
Black licorice doesn't resonate with me. Non-binary milk, I think, could be a hit with some crowds, but I don't know if the more conservative people would want non-binary milk.
Yeah.
Reach
I
out
was
to.
thinking maybe what if we just do a slogan, all milk matters.
Mm.
Mhm.
And then, bring in some, we could not stick with cow's milk. You got goat milk.
Yeah, that's an inclusive milk.
Maybe just all lives matter.
Yeah, well,
It's
because
all
we
the
don't want
different
to we don't want to
animals.
make it just about milk. We want all the different animals.
Mhm.
Everyone's got to feel good about buying milk. So you can't even talk about the milk.
Yeah, you got to talk about the lives. Well, that resonates with me. All
Maybe
lives
something-
matter,
yeah.
and then we serve all sorts of different milk. Bat milk, goat milk, cat milk.
I've had camel milk is amazing, but it's expensive. That's why we don't make it.
Mm, mm. Well, it sounds like we've got a good plan
Well, Peter,
here.
on the island, what kind of milk are you drinking there?
Oh, I don't really drink milk. I've mostly just been I've mostly just been drinking a bunch of malt liquor.
That is the milk of.
That's the milk of the islands, baby.
That's true.
Um, and I won't say which islands I'm on, but I will say it sounds like everything we've said so far, Ken has made it has let me know that it resonates with me, and it sounds like we've got a good plan. So moving forward, why don't we all just go around and as how we normally end our meetings, we all say one of our favorite things about milk.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll start. One of my favorite things about milk is that uh, I like the color, and I like how it looks running down a water slide.
Yep.
Good
No,
one. Good.
I like what you said there. That's why our original founder made that water park, because he was like, I want to see that milk going down that water slide.
Yeah, and he was a real pervert about it.
Well,
Mhm.
yes, but also he made some beautiful, waterfalls and natural parks, all constructed with milk. Sorry,
It's lovely.
I know he's passed on now, but I do love that man.
My favorite thing about milk is just how smooth your skin feels after a good milk shower
Mhm, mhm.
That resonates.
or milk bath if you feel like indulging yourself.
It seems like more of an indulgence to take a whole shower of milk because that uses a lot more milk.
No, it's
But
on.
now that I'm thinking about what really resonates with me is it's more of an indulgence to take a bath.
That is true. So for me, my sorry, it was our favorite thing about milk.
Yeah,
Every meeting.
every meeting we do this. Every meeting we say the same thing.
Wanted to make sure I had my words right.
Right.
I like how when I drink it, it makes my mouth tingle, and then it makes my stomach growl. And about 3 hours later, I'm loving the milk a second time.
It sounds like you might be lactose intolerant.
What's that?